Hey, what's up traders? This is Taylor with the midweek update for Wednesday, June 15th, aka Fed Day, aka we heard from JP and the boys today. So a few things to discuss, guys. Bigger picture versus the shorter term. Bigger picture, this market is looking as bearish as ever. One interesting chart I think is the weekly chart here. And on the weekly chart, and this goes for the S&Ps, this goes for names like Apple, this goes for names like Tesla. Granted, you've already made a pretty good flush, from the all-time high down to this point. But looking at the weekly squeeze here, this officially fires short this week. So keep in mind the rule of thumb with a squeeze. Once that bad boy fires, you're looking for the potential of 5 to maybe 8 bars of momentum in that direction. So being that we're looking at a weekly chart here, the potential for another 5 to 8 plus weeks of pretty steady momentum to the downside certainly makes sense here, guys. So, that's not a change. I'm not telling you anything new there. But in the shorter term, I think the question is, it's like, okay, we get through the Fed, we get through Powell. Market holds up pretty good here. Is there any potential that we see the market trade a little bit higher before rolling back over? And I do think the potential is there. So, if you guys look over here in the left-hand corner, we got the big 3 bars, the multi-label. I've got my active sell signal on the daily chart. I still have my active sell signal with the red bar on the 4-hour chart. But one little shift here as of today is we're starting to see the sell signals get canceled out on a few of the lower time frames. So the 15-minute chart of the S&P futures, this goes from bearish to neutral. And I'll show you that here if this can load on up. There we go. So 15-minute chart goes from bearish bars to neutral. So it's a step in the right direction. The 30-minute chart goes from the red big 3 bar, right, the bearish signal, to neutral. A little bit of neutral action there. And then as of today, even the hourly chart. Even the hourly chart here, trying to flip a little bit of structure, trying to shift momentum. So keep in mind, this isn't necessarily bullish. I'm not going to come into the day and, get long the S&Ps for a trade that expires in 40 days based on this. But a bit more important as far as the shorter term goes, where that signal can be helpful, the cancellation of the sell signal, that shift, where that can be helpful is when we're deeply oversold. Which coming into today, that's where the S&Ps and pretty much all of the market was. You're deeply oversold. So it's not that the 30-minute chart is bullish or the hourly chart is bullish. It's more so we're deeply oversold. And then if the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hourly chart, if they can cancel out the sell signals, if anything, guys, that just shows us in the short term a little bit of exhaustion of the bearish momentum. In plain English here, as long as that 15-minute, 30-minute, and hourly chart don't have the sell signal, I do think there's a potential for a little bit more upside here. But keep in mind, if we make it to 3850, we make it to 3900, I think pretty much any bounce under that daily 21, it's a shortable bounce. And my suggestion would be, as far as trying to short the bounces here, and I think this is really important, you kind of got 2 ways of going about it. You can do it in a forgiving fashion. So what's a forgiving fashion? Forgiving short trade would be, for example, you take something like Rivian with the active sell signal bouncing into that daily 21. A forgiving short here would be scaling into, July or August expiration out the money call credit spreads. You give your out the money call credit spread 30, 40 plus days till expiration, you can take a little bit of heat against you in the short term. That's a forgiving trade. What's not so forgiving is you start to buy out the money 20 strike puts. Well, at that point, you basically need Rivian to roll over immediately. So in terms of putting on some shorts here, I think you want to do your first initial shot, kind of using that scaling mentality. If we can get towards 3850, 3900, those might be a few spots here where we're slowly scaling into July, August expiration shorts. And the closer we get to that 21, the more aggressive you would get with the strategy of selection. So the further away we are from the 21, I think you're leaning into call credit spreads and you're scaling in. The closer we can get to that 21, I think you're getting a bit more directional and a little bit more aggressive. So we will see how that all plays out, guys. But as far as the short side, we're looking for a short on the S&Ps. We would like to short the QQQ. And I got the class coming up next month for the indicator drop for the big 3 bars here. And one thing I'm going to hook y'all up with in the class is the Thinkorswim watch list label. So pretty much you run your scans, you dump in the results. If I sort by buy signal, I've got nothing. I got UNG. If I instead sort by the sell signal, the bearish big 3 bar, we can keep scrolling. No shortage of opportunity there. So as far as that goes, we like Rivian. We're watching names like Airbnb. We're watching names like DoorDash. We're watching names like SQ. I mean, really, my friends, keep it simple. The easiest short would be short on the S&Ps or the Qs, one of the indices. But just keep in mind, these individual stocks, they're gonna follow suit. So if the S&Ps are making a brand new low 30 days from now, 30 days from now, the S&Ps are at 350, you're probably going to see Square trading much lower. You're probably going to see Amazon trading much lower. You pretty much would expect to see everything trade much lower. But in the event the market rallies a bit here, even something as bearish as SQ, with a sell signal basically on every time frame, as bearish as it is, it'll probably move with the market. So the primary focus is short in the indices, but we got a watch list full of shortable stocks here that we are working from as well. One other spot here, guys, I want to touch on real quick is Bitcoin. So I happen to think Bitcoin, another spot you could look to short the bounce. So you got the Bitcoin futures here, trending under the daily 50, trending under the daily 21, negative histogram. You got the big 3, the bearish big 3 bar on the daily chart, and we can throw a couple of negatively stacked EMAs into the mix. So where I'm from, that is a recipe for a short in the bounce. So we're watching the Bitcoin futures, and we're watching the Bitcoin-related stocks. There's MARA, there is Coinbase, there is Riot, and then of course you got MSTR. And the rumor on the street is the good people at MSTR got one hell of a margin call coming their way if Bitcoin trades under 21K. So from what I can gather, pretty much they used all the free cash at the company to dump that into Bitcoin, and that could get a bit ugly for those people over there. So S&Ps are a short, the Qs are a short, all the sectors are a short. I think the Bitcoin stuff is a short. What about a few of the uptrends? We'll finish off here, guys. Last 2 to 3 to 4 months, we've really been focusing on energy, natural gas, and oil as a few of the last good-looking uptrends in the market. Well, as far as USO goes, this still checks out for now. You pull back to your daily 21, you got the daily buy signal, no issues just yet. But then if you flip over here to energy, this is where things potentially start to shift. We're under that daily 21. We are holding the 50 for now, but for me, most importantly, above everything else, I don't have a green bar. I don't have my daily buy signal, and if you look over here, I don't have a buy signal on the 4-hour, the 2-hour, or the 1-hour. As a matter of fact, we got a 30-minute sell signal. So I'm not sure if I would short energy here, but I think you got to look at this whole trend in a little bit of context. If we pull up the monthly chart here, this is, that's as extended as it gets. You're up there at 5 ATR on the monthly chart. So you kind of mix in, you're very much overbought, and now you have the daily chart throwing out a few warning signs. I don't think you short this just yet, but I do think for now we kind of pump the brakes on, aggressively buying the dip here in energy, and pretty much make the group prove itself. And the best way it could prove itself would be to get back above that daily 21 and start spitting out some green bars again. Start spitting out a few of those green beans. And if you look at a few names about energy like EOG, where's my buy signal? I don't need it on the daily chart, but I need it somewhere. I don't have it on the daily, nothing on the 4-hour, not a buy signal in sight. Right. How about Devon? Any buy signals? No. Alright. How about Oxy? No buy signals anywhere. So if you look at something like Oxy here, this has been a total beauty since like late February. Back here in February, you got your daily squeeze, you print your first green big 3 bar. It's smooth sailing from that point forward. As long as we have that daily buy signal, buying the daily squeeze, buying the dip, basically looking for any kind of upside, it tends to work out really well. As soon as we lose that daily buy signal, like you're seeing Oxy do here, again, doesn't mean it's a short, but it's a little bit of a potential red flag. So this whole system is based on my checklist. So the indicator here, we get that daily buy signal, we get the green bar on the daily chart when both the weekly and the daily fit all my criteria. So the indicator is taking in, it's looking for stacked DMAs, 10x bars, squeezes, all kinds of good stuff. But as soon as it's not coming together, the signal disappears. So for now, guys, be a little cautious on energy, be a little cautious on the oxys, and then a quick look here at natural gas, UNG. Today's the first time since March we don't have the big 3 bar. So for me, just trying to keep it simple, trying to focus on the best signals possible. For now, we don't have too much setting up in energy or natural gas. So being patient there for now, and really trying to focus on the bigger plate of opportunity as far as the swing trades go, which for now is certainly short in the bounces. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, guys. We'll see if we can get a bounce to start shorting into, but that's what I'm seeing for now. You got a weekly squeeze firing short. That opens up the door for another potential month to 2+ months of downside. We've got daily sell signals, so none of that is pretty, right? None of that is bullish. But in the short term, we are deeply oversold. You got a lot of folks leaning short. You got a huge expiration coming up this Friday. Right, so Friday the 17th, you have a record amount of options set to expire. And then in a few weeks on the 30th, we got the big old quarterly expiration. So taking all that into consideration, if we can continue to clean up the 15-minute, 30-minute hourly charts, as long as those lower time frames don't have the sell signal, I'm thinking we could trade a little bit higher here, and I'm thinking any further upside sets up the next round of good short entries. So that, my friends, is what I got for y'all tonight. And I'm going to make sure next couple of weeks here, before we do the official webinar, I'll put together a video kind of going through the indicator, really breaking it down top to bottom, the buy signals, the sell signals, all that entails. But that's what I got for you guys tonight. I am currently recovering from COVID. Probably one of the better days here today. So looking forward to getting that behind me and looking forward to seeing what the market has in store for us tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Go take your dog for a walk, and I'll talk to you guys soon. What's up, traders? This is Taylor from Focus Trades here with simplertrading.com, and as always, I appreciate you watching our videos. If you happen to enjoy this one, go on ahead and like and comment down below, and if you're not already, make sure you go on ahead and subscribe and click that bell icon. That way, whenever Chandler and I upload a video, you'll get a notification once it's live. And if you want to watch us trade live with our own money Monday through Friday, you can check us out at simplertrading.com. See you in the next video.